press conference, we have invited Mr. Zhang Shaogang, Vice Chairman of CCPIT, Vice Chairman of CCPIT, Mr. Jianlong. They will introduce the preparation of the second China International Supply Chain Expo to all of us. Also present with us, Mr. Yu Yi, Chief of Cabinet of Administration of CCPIT. First of all, to Mr. Zhang Shaogang. Ladies and gentlemen, friends of the media, it's a great pleasure for me and also my two colleagues to join this press conference this morning and also meet our friends old and new. First of all, on behalf of China Council for the Promotion of International Trade, CCPIT, I'd like to say thank you to all the friends of media and friends of all walks of life for your long-term support to the work of CCPIT. In today's presentation, mainly I will share with you the preparations for the second China International Supply Chain Expo. As you know that President Xi has attached great importance to the unimpeded development of supply chain in the whole world, and we have to make our efforts to guarantee the development of supply chain expo. According to the third plenary session of the CPC, we have to promote the development of supply chain. That's why we have created the China International Supply Chain Expo as a measure taken by CCPIT to put the instructions of President Xi and also the decisions of the third plenary session of the CPC Central Committee into real practices. It's also important public service products that we have offered to the world. The second edition of this expo will be organized in Beijing in International Exhibition Center of the Shunyi District of Beijing between the 26th and 30th of November. It's organized by CCPIT and realized by China International Exhibition Center. WIPO, UN, international trade unions, etc. In total, 5 international organizations would be supporting agencies for our second expo. And the topic is connecting the future, and we will have exhibitions and different types of following up events, for example, communication, negotiations, publications, etc. For this new edition of Supply Chain Expo, we have 3 new features. First of all, we have pulled together the wisdom of the supply chain. This Supply Chain Expo is the first Supply Chain Expo at national level in the whole world. We have put the focus on the connection between different sizes of enterprises, the midstream, upstream, and downstream of the supply chain, and also interaction between the production side and research side. We'd like to facilitate the trade promotion. We have multiple platform functions like investment, cooperation, innovative, clustering, sharing, and communication. It's our way to better safeguard the development of Supply Chain Expo. We will have many participants. For the second China International Supply Chain Expo, we have also invited state leaders, representatives of international organizations, as well as the Fortune 500 enterprises leaders to give keynote speeches during the opening ceremony. Also during the opening ceremony, we will publish the Declaration of Beijing for the Unimpeded Development of Supply Chain. Also during that ceremony, we will talk about different chains and exhibition areas. And for those chains and exhibition areas, we will organize 7 events correspondingly. And for these events, we will also invite important figures, personalities to join. In the meantime, we also organize 300 plus following up activities. For the first exhibition, we have created the chain for smart vehicle, green agriculture, clean energy, digital technology, and healthy life. And with supply chain service exhibition area, the 5 chains and 1 area. But based on the proposition of President Xi Jinping of the new quality productive forces, this time we have added up 1 more chain for advanced manufacturing. For the previous edition, we have 100,000 square meters of exhibition. This time we have added 2,000 more, 20,000 more square meters. We have selected the best exhibitors. Finally, we have put more than 600 participants on our list from China and foreign countries. That is about an increase of 20% compared to the previous year. This will also mobilize more than 400 enterprises on different stages, upstream and downstream of the supply chain, to our exhibition. For the division of the exhibition area, this time we have applied the mindset of the supply chain. For example, key areas and stages of mid, up, and downstream of the supply chain. There are clusters of these suppliers with the complementary advantages combined. We have participants coming from more than 100 countries and regions of the world, and also many provinces of China, as well as multiple international organizations. This time, the participants will outweigh the previous edition in terms of the number. Based on the successful experience of the organization of the previous exposition, this time we will put the keyword around chain. Chain would be the guiding principle throughout the whole process of organization of the second Supply Chain Expo. We will help each and every participant to have a better understanding of this participation. It's not to demonstrate only the products, but more importantly, to demonstrate their role in the supply chain. And we also have to focus our attention on the long-term cooperation instead of short-term benefits. And it's not a fierce competition among all those participants. Instead, all those exhibitors should become friends and collaborators. There will also be interactive and also immersive experience, and also exhibition areas for the whole chain equipment. This is really a gala for all the participants. And now we have the 30-day countdown for the grand opening of the second Supply Chain Expo. And everything is in steady progress, and we are doing our best for it. For all the international organizations, ministries, local governments, as well as the enterprises, research institutes, universities, you are all welcome to take a part in this expo. So together we can enjoy this wonderful moment and create the future together. And I hope that our friends of the media will continue to stay with us and also give wonderful reports about our exhibition. And now, together with my colleagues, we'd like to take your questions. Now the floor is open for your questions. Please raise your hands. Before giving your question, please identify yourself. Thank you. Thank you. With the first finance, this year marks the second edition of the Supply Chain Expo. In comparison with the previous edition, what are the new features and innovative points? I'd like to take this question. For the first edition, we have made it a very successful one. So for the second round of this expo, we'd like to focus on a more fruitful one. We have brainstormed about the creation of different areas, declaration of the results, fruits, achievements, etc. More precisely, first of all, we have decided the host province and host country. Maybe you still remember in May this year, President Xi has visited Hungary. During the visit of His Excellency, President Xi together with Hungarian president, have witnessed the exchange of documents between two ministries, the MOU of promotion of trade. And this time, we'd like to invite Hungary to join the second edition of the Expo as a host country, as a main country. We'd like to put into real practices the decision of the state leaders. For Hungary, how they would present their products, today we have reached a consensus. For the Stadium of Hungary, the topic would be connectivity based on science and technology. They will use the magic cubes. They will demonstrate their special resources, beautiful landscape, and also the image of the country. And so Hungary would be the country of honor this time. For the province of honor this time, it will be Hubei. And they will also build up their stadium. They will bring to us 28 representing enterprises with more than 70 products for Wuhan City and Yichang City, as well as the other cities from the province. They will organize different types of events. Between the province of honor and the country of honor, they will also co-organize some events. This time, this is one of the highlights of the event, never seen in history. Second highlight of this time, we would like to better serve the national strategy. This time, our focus would be attributed to the new quality productive forces. For example, this time we have added up a new area for the sixth chain, which is for advanced manufacturing. We'd like to demonstrate the latest achievement in the high-quality development of Belt and Road Initiative, and we would like to showcase how these countries have collaborated one with another, how they have built up their models of collaboration in the framework of the BRI. And we also have regional development strategy, for example, the Yangtze River Delta development, as well as the integration of maritime areas and the continental areas. So we can have a bigger spillover effect. The third highlight, for the first time, we will publish the joint declaration of different sectors. This time, we will have one exhibition area and 6 chains. And the leading enterprises, they will collaborate together to publish a joint declaration. For example, green agriculture. In this sector, there will be a joint initiative published by one Chinese enterprise and one U.S. enterprise for agriculture. For the clean energy, there will be the joint declaration for the decarbonization. For additional technology, there would also be a joint initiative. This is a message to the whole world that the circle of trade and commerce in China would like to mount up an alliance. During this exhibition, we will publish the flagship report of the Expo. Last year, we have published the first version. This time, we will publish the version 2024 for the promotion of industrial supply chain based on the new tendencies of development. And with the man-like robots, integrated circuits, together 11 sectors, we will publish a diagram about international industry supply chains. We will also publish the indicator of international industrial supply chain. With these analytic tools, we can better help all the countries to seize the trend of international development and also to confront with the possible risks in this area. So this is also our innovation of this time. Next question, please. Thank you. With daily economic news. Currently, U.S. has published a lot of restraining measures concerning Chinese products. For example, the quantum computing and semiconductors, etc. What's your comment? And I also would like to know the opinions of foreign participants on the Chinese market. Thank you very much for this question. I'd like to take this one. As you have mentioned, recently, EU and the US have published restrictive measures against China. We believe that apparently these measures are against the WTO rules, and these are unilateral measures, and those have also challenged the healthy development of international supply chain. CCPIT, on behalf of the whole business community of China, are firmly opposed to that. We also would like to urge the US and EU side to stop this wrong action so that with real actions they could protect the unilateral trading system, and together we can have win-win results and also promote the development of the world economy. Especially, I would like to stress that this is not only our hope, it's the shared hope of many countries. In the recent 2024 third meeting of the representatives of industry and trade circles in APEC, participants have proposed non-discriminative policies, and they have urged all countries to respect the rules of WTO. And these proposals have been included into the report of state leaders of APEC. So this is the unified voice of representatives of the circle. Recently, CCPIT have investigated more than 400 enterprises. About 64.9% and 66.6% of the enterprises thought that the policies from the Chinese government are supportive and have helped to improve the development of the enterprises. This time, we have welcomed more international enterprises to join the second supply chain Expo. They account for 32% of the total participants. And we also have growing numbers of participants from foreign countries like Japan and also from Europe. Previously, we have also mentioned that for this year's Supply Chain Expo, we will continue to form consensus of international community of business and also publish the Beijing Declaration. Beijing Declaration would be the symbol of our attitude of this Supply Chain Expo. This is also the symbol of our aspiration. We hope that you could all come to the Expo, follow the forums and also the events so that you can find the answer by yourself. Next question, please. Thank you. With the 21st Economic Daily, we know that this time there are more than 600 participants of enterprises in this year's Expo. more than ever. What kind of services are you going to deliver to those participants? Thank you very much for your question. As you have mentioned, that this time we have more than 600 enterprises participating in this expo, and they are coming from more than 100 countries. We also have the participants coming from more than 100 countries. Based on the best practices of the organization of the first edition of the Expo, this time we will do a better job in delivering a better quality of services. In our services delivered to the participants, because this is a national level expo, we have received the support of different government administrations, ministries, and local governments, especially that of Beijing Municipality. The Market Regulation Administration at national level has also joined our efforts. For the vehicles and electronic products that are joining the Supply Chain Expo, we will give them obstacle-free pathway for entrance. And there is also a smarter tool to help us with the verification of ID information of the participants. We will also streamline the examination process, the entrance of the participants, and we also have the whole process electronics-based examination and checks. For the services to the audience, because this time we're about to welcome 200,000 participants coming from more than 100 countries. So for different aspects of their visit, for example, the participation, accommodation, traveling, etc., we will give them more conveniences. Like the visiting card, we will streamline the process for application. We also have volunteers that can speak different foreign languages. There are also catering services and accommodation services. In order to satisfy the consumption and the paying habits, we have the POS machine. There are also supermarkets run by the electronic system, so there's no vendors inside. For the catering side, we will offer more delicious plates to the audience. We have bigger areas for the catering, and there are also ambulance catering vehicles and temporary dining areas. Every day we can offer 50,000 units of meals, including Chinese dishes, Western dishes, snacks, and food for Muslims. We will also offer sufficient access to hotel rooms with reasonable prices. In the hotels, we also have consultation services 24 hours a day. There will also be information desks at the airport and also the other important transportation hubs between the hotels and also the exhibition venues, especially between the venue in Chaoyang District and the venue in the Shunyi District. There will be shuttle buses. With the support of other government agencies, about 450 volunteers coming from 12 universities in Beijing will also be joining us. Thank you. With Phoenix Media. We know that previously You have organized the World Intellectual Property Conference with the International Organization of the Protection of Intellectual Property. What kind of extra legal assistance are you going to deliver to the participants? Thank you very much for this question. In the Supply Chain Expo, there will be a big gathering of exhibitions. Many products, they will make their debut. So the protection of intellectual property is one of the key tasks. Thank you for your attention on this issue. Recently, we have organized the World Conference on the Protection of Intellectual Property. And you know that CCPIT is an important explorer of the protection of IP and also important contributor. Starting by 1950s, we have started the agents development and protection of the IP. Earlier, this month, we have organized the 2024 World Conference on Intellectual Property Protection in collaboration with AIPPI. And we have also high-rank government leaders presenting in the opening ceremony, reading a congratulation letter from President Xi Jinping. This is a landmark. It marks that China has been fully engaged in the world effort to protect the intellectual property. Since the first edition of our Supply Chain Expo, we have attached great importance to the protection of intellectual property. At site, we have set up the service desk and we have received 0 reports about the infringement of the IP. For this year's edition of Supply Chain Expo, we will continue to apply the best practices of the previous edition with 4 improvements and 1 extension. First of all, we will enhance our capacity of online services. For example, we will create a column of IP protection with our official website so that we can give clearer information guidelines to our participants. Second, improve our service capacity on site. We will continue to create this service station or service desk for IP protection and also create a window for the application of the patent. The third is the law enforcement capacity should be strengthened. We will collaborate more closely with the administration in charge. If there's a conflict, we can handle it properly and quickly. If there's the infringement of intellectual property, then we will immediately settle the case. During the last edition, we didn't have any negative cases, but this time we will continue to be prudent. And fourthly, for the first time, we have invited WIPO to join the Expo and to strengthen their collaboration with the other participants. You know that with WIPO, we have more than 5 decades of collaboration with many agreements of collaboration signed. We will also extend legal services. Under CCPIT, we have the 2 arbitrage committees related with foreign trade. We also have representation offices, companies, and commercial centers. All of them would be in service of legal consultation and help for all the participants. If they want the service of agency for the patents or consultation of legal affairs, they could also come to the designated areas for help. Next question, please. Thank you. With the Fengmian News, previously you mentioned that this time you will put the focus on the long-term collaboration between the enterprises from the midstream, upstream, and downstream of the supply chain. What's your measure to strengthen the collaboration between these enterprises? As you have mentioned, this time we'd like to strengthen long-term cooperation between enterprises from the midstream, upstream, and downstream of the supply chain Expo. So this time, the scenario is not like signing the contracts or demonstrate the products, but the focus should be given to the facilitation of communication and collaboration of enterprises from different areas of the supply chain. So each of them could tap the potential of collaboration with the potential partners. They will also have a clearer understanding of their positions in the international supply chain. This time, we'd like to realize the most effective matching of partners and collaborators. So when you come to the Expo, it's not for the short-term benefits or the selling or the sales of the products. We know that to give a man a fish is not as good as giving this man the technique to do the fishing. This time, we'd like to help our participants to find the most suitable participants for future business. This will also give long-term feeling of achievedness to the participants. Based on the best practices of the first edition, we have also made hard efforts to recruit participants. For this year's edition, for example, we have collaborated with the working mechanisms, representative agencies of provincial levels. They have in their hands the foreign trade resources, and we are doing the recruiting of the participants. For the exhibition, they have created a platform based on big data and AI to do the computing on a cloud platform. So enterprises, they could also seek each other's collaboration on the platform on cloud. We also have the supply chain Expo that would be permanent online. So it's possible for all the enterprises to find the most suitable suppliers. For example, 2 enterprises this time have published the collaboration declaration, and until now, their collaboration have become very fruitful. For the Fengshan from Jiangsu province, they have visited earlier Brazil because during last year's Expo, they have made the contact with one province of Brazil, and now they have achieved agreement about establishment of an industrial park on site in Brazil. For the second edition of the Expo, for the connection of enterprises, before the opening of this Expo, we have already started the process. Until now, for the more than 600 enterprises joining the Expo and also participants, we have matched more than 5,000 pieces of information. There are also meetings, the meetup events. For the vehicle brand Geely, they have joined more than 12 meetup events from Thailand, Indonesia, and ROK. our brands have started communication with the foreign partners. And of course, the highlight would always be the second China International Supply Chain Expo. There will be professional delegations coming to this expo. We are fully prepared for different countries, regions, and sectors. We will consider their reality and give them tailored services. We will also create the most suitable trajectory of visiting. For the professional visitors, we also would help them in visiting the local enterprises and provinces of China. We're fully convinced that the second edition of Supply Chain Expo would be very fruitful. Thank you. With the Xinhua News Agency, the first edition Supply Chain Expo has attracted so much attention. So what are the highlights of this year's edition? Thank you very much for your question. It's a great pleasure for me to take this question. CCPIT last year has organized the first edition of China International Supply Chain Expo with very good results, with the participation of 515 enterprises joining the event. And in total, we have organized 360 follow-up events. We have more than 15,000 participants. We published 23 declarations, criteria, and documents. We signed agreements of collaboration for more than 200 projects. In comparison to that, this year's edition, we have three major highlights. First of all, it will be more international. Since the beginning of this year, we have worked with the embassies and organizations. At home and abroad, we organized more than 60 roadshows. We have also invited 393 commerce associations and institutions, as well as the Fortune 500 enterprises to join this expo. Currently, we have an increasing proportion of foreign enterprises. Last year, their proportion was 20%. This year, it was up to 32%. And these enterprises come from 70 different countries. For the Fortune 500 enterprises and leading enterprises, they account for more than 60% of the total enterprises. In comparison with last year's Expo, Fortune 500 in China and Fortune 500 private enterprises in China account for 42% and 46% and 70% respectively. More than 100 countries and international organizations will send their representatives and leaders to this event. More than 30 international organizations and 50 trade unions and associations from Japan, ROK, and other countries have confirmed the participation in the expo by their delegations. We think that in the next days, in the next period of time, this number will continue to grow. This time, we have 4 leading enterprises for smart vehicles. And we also have leading enterprises presenting their products in green agriculture chain. Second highlight is more professional. For the second Supply Chain Expo, we will demonstrate new products, new technologies, new techniques, and new materials. For example, Nike Group and China Transport Group will showcase their new technologies. Some other enterprises will also demonstrate 70 plus new products. And we believe that these numbers will also continue to grow in the next month. When you come to the Supply Chain Expo, you can see the latest trends in this area. And besides, during the Supply Chain Expo of this year, we will publish the 2024 report. We will also publish the promotion indicator, connection indicator, two important indicators. Number 3, we will be more strict with the green criteria. For example, the 2 carbon goals. We would like to go green and be friendly to the environment. Green exhibition is also one of the keywords for the mounting operation, participation, transportation. All these aspects of the exhibition should be green. Energy consumption will also be rationalized. We have this whole chain to guarantee the green development. For the curation of the exhibition, we have to apply green standards. We have to use environmentally friendly, recyclable materials. And when we do the mounting of the area, we have to be standardized and also simplistic. During this exhibition, we will select the best stadium and best stand that are most green in the mounting. We also recommend green transportation, green catering, and we encourage everyone to finish the food on the plate and realize zero waste of food. With our joint efforts, we can also present a green and wonderful expo for everyone. Next question, please. Thank you. With Economic Daily, we proposed an inclusive globalization. So this year, what's the role of our Expo in promoting this inclusive development? Thank you very much for this question. We have keywords in the name of this Expo. It's the chain. It also means connection and supply chain. It means that thousands of enterprises come together for an event, and connection means that we have to realize the synergy of different parties with a shared vision. Connecting the world and creating the future together is the main topic of this year's Expo. We would like to get connected with the world economy and maximize the benefits and profits of the economy so that we can share all the development results with all the people. This year, the Supply Chain Expo would also be playing its role in promoting an inclusive world economy. First of all, for developing countries and emerging economies, they will be fully engaged and integrated in the world economy. This time, 50% of the enterprises come from Europe, and also we have many other participants from Africa, from Latin America, etc. We put the focus on the unilateral opening to the least developed countries. We give free service and free participation opportunities to African countries. With our real actions, we would like to apply the principle of inclusive development for Rwanda, Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, and the other countries that will send representatives of their enterprises or institutions. We have also invited representatives of international organizations and also representatives of development organizations of developing countries to join the event so that they can also contribute their own wisdom. For enterprises of different sizes, big and small, they have to grow together. This year's Expo, we count 75 enterprises of the Fortune 500 and 83 Fortune 500 Chinese enterprises. They are also hidden champion enterprises. For example, Chavis from the US, and Hainan New Tech, and Zhongtian and Shenglong from China. In a conventional expo, it's more like a showcase of products, but this time we would like to put the focus on the demonstration and showcasing of innovations. Different parts of the supply chain should work together. Industrial chain and supply chain should also have the opportunity to realize resilient and inclusive development. We also offer opportunities of training. This is to help the enterprises to grab a part in the international market and to be better integrated in the international supply chain. In China, we say that a kind person should share care and love for the others, and an intelligent person, a smart person, should help the others. This time, win-win results and harmonious coexistence would be our shared vision and also our common goal. We still have 2 questions left. Thank you. With the Scientific Daily, we noticed that this time you will add up one more chain, that for advanced manufacturing for this year's Expo. Could you please give us more details? Yes, during the second Supply Chain Expo, for the first time, we will create exposition area for the chain of advanced manufacturing. This is to apply the instructions of President Xi Jinping for the development of new quality productive forces. We have created this new area for the chain of advanced manufacturing, from design and development, new materials, new separate pieces, and new equipments. 4 aspects would be used to demonstrate the advanced manufacturing, from design to application. This is a whole supply chain demonstration. Many enterprises at home and abroad for advanced equipment manufacturing would be gathered together in this area. And in this exhibition area, there will be 3 focuses. First of all, focus on the empowerment by science and technology. Scientific innovations are key for the upgrading and transformation of manufacturing. Science and technology are changing the landscape in the traditional manufacturing. For CRRC and Tonghao, and for Colonel of Germany, will join hands to represent the latest technologies and products in the railway transportation. And this is also a platform to showcase the best practices for railway transportation. And for Conning from the US, they will not only showcase their products of the rail, but also the glass. And the Chinese enterprises will show the new generation of nylon and silicon. All these are new materials are used in new energy, electronic information, and aerospace development. This is one of the highlights of this area. Second focus is the intelligent development. Currently, we have new industries and new business models developing across the world. We have higher level of intelligent manufacturing. Many key enterprises and leaders will demonstrate their latest development. For example, the machine beds, smart factories, smart solutions, etc. We have to work towards innovation. Maybe first of all, I can reveal some secrets about this expo, like Siemens from Germany will bring to us the latest automation technology. Honeywell company will demonstrate many technologies for the carbon reduction and environmental protection. And also there will be more interesting showcasing events and products at site. The third focus is the cutting-edge technology for AI, for medical care. In these new areas, we have noticed a high potential. Many Chinese enterprises, especially the leaders in their own domain, as well as the hidden champions, will all get together in this exhibition area of the advanced manufacturing. They will demonstrate the latest achievements of innovative technology in their own area. They will also form a highland of application of the latest generation of technology. If you visit this new area of exhibition for advanced manufacturing, you can also get a lot of inspiration. Last question for today. Thank you. With the new Red Star News. Apart from the organization of the Supply Chain Expo, what are the other efforts of CCPIT for an unimpeded development of the supply chain? Thank you very much for this question. I'd like to take this one. We have all noticed that in recent years, we have been impacted by geopolitics developments, changes, and also COVID. The supply chain in the whole world has been blown heavily, and according to the report of international organizations, there are still risks in this area. CCPIT has determined to better serve enterprises from home and abroad, and also to facilitate the connection between supply and demand side. And we would like to make the maximum effort to guarantee the unimpeded development of supply chain and industrial chain. 4 aspects. First of all, strengthen the promotion of trade. Expo of supply chain is an important platform for the promotion of trade. And we are one member of the national team for the promotion of the international trade. Today, China has organized more than 3,000 exhibitions of different kinds to stabilize and to promote our foreign trade. Since this year, we have sent more than 1,000 Chinese delegations to visit foreign countries. For example, in Japan, ROK, ASEAN, Australia, New Zealand, and European Union, as well as the other regions and countries to participate in other expos. And we have also communicated with our potential partners for more opportunities of collaboration. We have organized the training sessions for the interpretation of free trade zone policies. And we have also made our platform more intelligent, more standardized. We have determined to better serve the foreign enterprises. For Chinese top leaders, we have created a platform for them to have a dialogue with representing enterprises and leading enterprises of foreign countries. There are also communication scenarios and opportunities between the political side and the enterprise side. We have also helped the enterprises to overcome their properties. For international enterprises, we have invited them to visit local communities and provinces. Number 3 is the joint development of Belt and Road Initiative with high quality. With the second and third summit of BRI, we have organized the entrepreneurs meeting. Last year, during the entrepreneurs meeting, we have signed contracts of collaboration of more than 182 projects with total value of 92 billion RMB. We have also organized different types of forum to strengthen the communication and exchange of people. We also published the guidelines on the business environment, country reports, to help our Chinese enterprises to better go global. Number 4, to join international economic governance. We invite Chinese enterprises to join APEC, BRICS, and the G20 summits, and also to join important work of the international organizations. In important international arena, we'd like to tell the Chinese story. Since this year, we have promoted, we have proposed the document to facilitate the trade between China and U.S. During the forum of WTO, we have worked with the World Trading Center. We organized a forum that has achieved the support of the whole circle of business and trade. Moving forward, we're about to continue to organize the supply chain and Expo, and we will make continuous progress. It will become a public product shared by all, and we will also make the development of the supply chain more resilient and more stable. And we would like to contribute our share in building the community of shared future for mankind. That is all for today's press conference. I'd like to say thank you to all our speakers and participants. Thank you. See you next time.